another episode. I am your host, Rebecca, for the Reddit Randos, and I have here my guest and co-host, Justin.
Guest of honor.
Guest of honor in the room and in the bed, because, because he's my hubby. We are a team. So, yeah, sorry. Sorry if that was TMI, guys. So, okay. Tonight. I don't know. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. I ate lots of burritos.
Yes, you did. That I made. And we're going to do an episode here, and then he's going to go play some Ark.
Gotta save the dinosaurs.
Gotta save the dinosaurs. So we gotta hurry it up here because he's gonna, lose patience with me on these tonight. Or not. He's fine. We're doing good. He'll be here as long as I want him to be. He's like, send help. Okay, we'll get into it. Okay, so we're gonna start with some stories here. I don't know what the title is gonna be yet for this episode, but the deal is, these stories are just random little weird things that just could happen. Like, just random stories that just, when you ask someone, what's a random or weird thing that's happened in your life? And this is, like, maybe nothing extreme, but just, something controversial, something weird, something random that you never thought would happen. So
something to stoke the fire.
It's your story, your go-to story to tell to people what weird thing happened in your life.
I have lots of weird things in my life. Lots of weird things.
Yeah. So one of the first ones, we'll get a nice little fun one to lighten it up. So the story is from Best of Redditor Updates. And it is called, I just got home to find a car parked on my drive, plugged into my car charger. What can I do, and should I talk to the police? So they were parked on the driveway and plugged into, because it's an electric car.
Like a Tesla.
Yeah. So literally a random car parked in his driveway, plugged into, not just parked in the driveway, but plugged into his charger. So
you should have asked the person they brought snacks.
Yeah, well, we're going to get into this. This is originally from April 23rd of this year, 2025. So, I just got home to find a car parked on my driveway, plugged into my car charger. What can I do? Should I talk to the police? As the title says, I'm just back from a weekend away. And when we got home, we found a car on our driveway plugged into our car charger. The outside gates have been opened to allow access, and the car seems to have been there for less than an hour and is on about 8% according to the charger. I've switched the charger off at the wall, so no more free electricity for them, and their charger cable is now locked to the box, default behavior when there is no power, and we've locked the gates shut. Do I report this to the police as theft, and what will they do? I know if they want to leave, I must release the gates. I've locked them to make sure they don't try to drive off. Can I leave the power off on the charger and hold the charging cable to ransom, assuming they can disconnect when there is no power? So that's kind of it.
I think they should just talk to the person when they come back and get their car. I mean, I don't know. It's not.
I don't know.
It's a big
Did the person
deal.
just abandon the car? I mean,
well, it's not like they broke in the house. I mean, yes, the gate's opened. Well, I don't know if they opened it or if they left it open. No, people shouldn't be just taking, charging up at your house right away. But I mean, I don't know. I think you're kind of going above and beyond. But if they want to contact the police and just be like, hey, this person's eventually going to come here, I'd like to talk to them, but I'd like to make sure there's an officer present. I don't see anything wrong with that.
I mean, I think they did the right thing by locking the gates behind them, because then the people can't just run off. And if they do, well, they're going to be doing some damage, and there's damaged property.
If they run off, then they don't have their car.
Well, I was going to say, I mean,
they got
I
their
don't know.
2 legs.
And they took the charger off, so they're not plugged in anymore. No more free electricity for that person. So, I guess the top comment, or one of the comments on the top for this whole thing is, it is theft of electricity. I would call the police on 101 and report it just to make sure to include the VIN and registration plate. Make sure to also disconnect the car and say how you feel uncomfortable by the car being there and want it removed, but this is unlikely to do anything. Another person says, depending on your EV charger, you might be able to set security, so charges have to be approved. The new ones at work require a certain RFID card. I have no idea what this talk is. Or approved account before charging begins. Anyone else will be able to plug in, but won't charge. For now, pull the breaker for the charger, unplug the car at the charger end, and wait for them to return and wonder why their vehicle has no charge in it. You can report the theft of electricity, but it is likely won't amount to much. I guess someone said, for future, invest in a camera that is pointed at your driveway in such a way the charger is visible even when the car is parked.
Well, if this is I think if it's a Tesla, it's already got a camera in it.
Here's the thing. It wait it out, I guess. Wait for the person to come back. If it's going to be more than a few hours, then yeah, call the police.
Or just call the police and tell them, hey, there's a car in my driving, doesn't belong. I need it towed.
Yeah, basically. That's it. That's basically what you should do. I need this car towed. It is not mine. It is someone else's, and they've left it in my driveway.
Then you find out your poor grandma's, and then you get it back.
That'd be terrible. Okay, so the update happened one day later. I don't know if this is allowed on this thread, but it is, as so many people have DM'd me for an update, here it is. The car was still there when I left for work this morning. According to the two cameras, the owner returned at about 23:50. So if I'm guessing this right, that's
11:50 p.m.
Yeah, 11:50. But after checking the locked gate and the charger, they left without ringing the doorbell. I got a call this morning from my neighbors telling me that someone was using a cutting tool on the gate and they had called the police. I went home and found the police, my neighbor, and the car's owner on my driveway. He was in his 50s. He seemed to be some sort of businessman. He told the police that he had been staying at the hotel just around the corner and that one of the hotel staff had told him that there was a charger in my driveway that he could use. Our house was empty for 6 months prior to us moving in, so perhaps they had been using it for guests for some time. Oh my word. The owner was very upset that I had locked them in, but the police kept everything calm. On inspection, they had already damaged the charger to retrieve their cable, and even though they denied this, it was clear from the dog cam footage that they did it. They also had damaged the gate quite badly while trying to open it. Upshot is that they were arrested for criminal damage to the gate and charger, and the police are arranging for their car to be removed as it has no charge, so it cannot be driven off. I'm off to have a serious conversation with the hotel manager and chase up the new charger, as ours is now broken. Yeah, I would file a...
I'd be pretty mad, but I can see why the guy did that.
So, why the guy tried to...
Why he was using the house charger if he was told he could.
Yeah, honestly, it's not... I mean, for him trying to break out of the gate, he brought a tool to cut the gate open.
I mean,
who just does that? Did he literally leave to buy one and then come back to cut? Why didn't he just go to the door and be like, hey, there's been some misunderstanding here.
Maybe the manager told him that's the way it's supposed to go.
Oh,
it's a badge of honor.
Honestly, the hotel was very dumb for telling him, oh yeah, we know there's like an empty lot over there that you could just use their charger, which is someone else's property, so that was really wrong on their end. Second end is that the guy, instead of just completely coming forward and being like, hey, big misunderstanding here, they told me to go here, I'm not going to talk to anyone, and I'm going to try and bust out of here, doing some damage to the property. People just don't have common sense. anymore.
Well, I wouldn't be using a house for a charger that's not mine.
No, even if the hotel told me to do that, I would think that as sketchy. So, no, I would not do that. And in fact, if a hotel manager or someone who told me to do that, I probably wouldn't want to be at the hotel anymore.
Well, I think the hotel manager was looking to spice up his day. He was probably
He
bored.
was being a cheapo. Didn't want to.
No, it's not being cheapo. It's called he's bored at work. He needs some action. You need to see something.
That's weird. No. I mean, honestly, this guy has enough to file a lawsuit for the damage the hotel had made this person cause. Either way, whether it's towards the hotel, it could be for lawfully or wrongfully telling them to go onto someone's property, and then the man who did the damage. So there's a lawsuit in there somewhere. Either way, he needs to be paid for the damage that was made.
Oh.
I don't know.
That's why you guys stick to gas.
Yeah, so, yeah, after that, a lot of people are just like, they did ask, wow, was the man in any way, shape, or form apologetic to you? Also, what an absolute idiot to just accept the word of the hotel to park on a random driveway and steal electricity from a private residence. And the guy who replied said, no apology, but he had already been arrested at that point, so that was off the scale. Someone had said, I'm quite surprised, but happy. There was no mention from the police about you locking the gate, was there? Anyway, staying tuned for part 3, the hotel. The person said the police officer was quite happy that it was lawful to close the lock the gate behind him, even though the owner said he'd sue me. The hotel manager and I had a chat over lunch. He thinks it's bullcrap, but will remind his staff, and they have booted the guest out of the hotel. So obviously it's not the manager, it was the staff under the manager that told him to do this.
Yeah, the assistant manager. I don't know. I'm just making something up.
He thinks that it's bullcrap, but okay. So he thinks it's just it's not true that the hotel staff told the guy to go to the charger.
There's a good chance it could not be, but I don't know.
I mean, it could be the guy just throwing out some random excuse out there why he was doing it, but honestly, I just think it's really dumb. So
Yeah.
This was listed under workplace/legal advice UK, because this was in the UK. So that's why it kept saying my drive instead of driveway, and I'm like, why are they saying drive instead of driveway? It must be something that they say in the UK instead.
Yeah, like the bubbler
The bubbler.
instead of a water fountain.
I'm trying to think if there was any update after that, but I think that's it for updates. So nothing else on like everything else, if he ever got like any closure with the hotel with payments or after that. But either way, guy got arrested, and that's that.
Yay, someone got the handcuffs.
Yeah. Okay, move on to the next one. So the next one is, am I the a-hole for letting my parents move to a more expensive place without telling them I won't be coming with? So I gotta look this up really quick because, here we go. It got deleted after a while.
Uh-oh.
So the guy, I think, deleted the story off of his account. So, but thanks to r/Reddit on Wiki, they screenshotted it.
Yes,
And
for
it is
the
still
people.
out there for the people.
For the people.
For the people. They had posted it 6 days ago, which was probably somehow still that day. So yeah, this was not too long ago. But it's, am I the a-hole for letting my parents move to a more expensive place without telling them I won't be coming with? Background, my parents are just barely making it. My mom doesn't work, just my dad. Anyway, that's not important right now. My parents charge me rent, $600 every month. Yep, so since I was 16, so back then, that was nearly all my money. My parents are planning to move soon. I overheard them talking about increasing my rent to $800 per month at the new place. They didn't talk to me about it yet. They just assume I'd come with them and suck up the increase. I later found out the new place is out of my dad's price range unless I'm there paying the $800. My mom wants it because she likes it. Here's the thing. I've quietly been applying for apartments in Texas behind their backs. I don't plan on moving with them at all. I'm ready to start building something on my own. I want to go to college, but if I don't go with them, they can't afford the new place. They're banking on my rent to make it work. So, am I the a-hole for not telling them I'm not coming and letting them move under the assumption that I'll be helping with rent?
How old's this person?
It doesn't say what he is currently. It just says, yep, since I was 16.
Well, I don't think any parents should be relying on their kid to live with them to live at a house.
No. So he's been paying $600 every month since he was 16, and he's got to be not that long. He must be about maybe 18, 19 because he wants to go to college. So $600 a month when you're 16, he must, and he says that's basically all he's got. So he must have some kind of little job at some restaurant or something on the weekends and afternoons.
I would just be honest and tell my parents I'm not coming and just leave it at that because...
Yeah, why go to all the...
No.
Why go through all the problem of just all of a sudden they move and you're like, sorry, I'm going to leave, guys. I'm going to bail on you. Like, that's going to cause so many problems for your parents.
Well, he's an adult. He should probably be moved out.
Well, he's probably about either he's just graduated and he's... I don't know. Either way, his parents have no concern of what he wants to do for his future and to help him. They're just banking on him helping them.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to have your kid help you for your house. You mean you...
No, it should be the other way around. Oh, sorry, I just hit my mic. No, it should be the other way around. It should be that they should be trying to help him go forward on where he wants to go. This is just irresponsibility for these parents. These parents seem to be, they've grown up being irresponsible. Yeah, no, honestly, it just seems like his parents are still acting like kids. They're being irresponsible and they're relying on their kid to help them out with this dream or living situation. And this is what it's going to be like for the rest of their life. They're going to rely on this son, might be an only child, but they're going to rely on him for the rest of their lives because they weren't smart in saving money, trying to live responsibly and on a budget.
I don't care about any of that. I still think it's wrong that a parent would have their kid paying for their house.
I get
I think it's just wrong. Just downsize. Don't do something stupid and rely on your kid
by the age of 16,
to pay for your stuff.
Like you lived with your parents just for a little bit after you graduated, and that's when they started having you pay rent, right?
Yeah.
And it was a very, very reasonable price.
Yeah, I didn't pay too much, but I mean, I had to rent and still had to pay my own. I think I was paying my phone bill, but I paid my own car insurance. Anything with the car that has to get replaced, I had to get fixed. All my gas. I mean,
But they made the price so reasonable, so it was still something you could save up with until you could finally move into your own place.
Well, yeah, as long as I was saving. But if I was out spending a lot of money every weekend and doing stupid stuff, then I would have been kicked out pretty quick.
Right.
So,
they made sure if you're going to still live under a roof, you got to live responsibly. You need to still be a part of the family, but you can still do your own things. And that's probably the reason why they said, if you're going to be a part of this family and join us on all these things, that made you want to be moved out faster.
It doesn't sound like they're asking him to be a part of this family. It sounds like it's a merit-based relationship. Mm-hmm. So in order for him to be part of the family, he has to work and live under their house, not live away. It's all merit-based. If he performs a certain way, he's part of the family. If he doesn't perform, it sounds like parents won't like him.
That's just a sad relationship to have with your kid.
Yeah, it's a boss and worker relationship. That's what it is.
Yeah, that just no wonder he wants to get out.
I'm sure there's more problems than that he
Oh, I
has.
bet. But that's probably a big one where he's like, it's just going to get worse if I go along with them. So, no, I definitely would be wanting to get out. I'd do the same thing, man. I'd want to get out too. And I would tell them though, that's the thing. The whole thing is, am I the a-hole for not telling them that I'm going to be leaving when they move? No. Honestly, I'm sorry. I don't care how bad the relationship is. You know, it doesn't seem at this point we don't know everything, but you should just tell them, because this is then where they need to stop and realize we can't do this on our own. So we're going to need to change our lifestyle to be able to continue this without him. And he's going to stay stern because I have a feeling mom's going to make him feel guilty for leaving. And he'll stay firm and leave no matter what. I already can tell with this kid, he's done. He's had enough. But he needs to tell his parents. I think that's the right thing to do, to tell his parents so they are aware that he will not be there to build them up. But yeah.
Yep. Needs to walk away. Just tell him, I don't know, whatever his other plans are, either move out or whatever. Go move out, and if mom and dad wanna burn that bridge down, then hey, burn it down. Go make something of yourself, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to the next one. This one is under r/advice. And you know it's going to be good because they've already deleted their whole account and post. Well, not the post, but they deleted their account. So this person does not want to be here anymore. Title is, How to Tell My Friend I Think Her 8-year-old Son is Dangerous.
8-year-old son is dangerous?
Yes. So let's get into this.
You just tell him.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Occasionally, I let my 6-year-old daughter play with my friend's 8-year-old son, and I've started to notice some concerning behavior on his part. There were 3 things in particular that I witnessed while they are playing on separate occasions recently. The first was when they were playing in my daughter's above-ground foldable pool. He was trying to convince my daughter to play a game where they took turns holding each other's head under the water. A drowning game, in his own words. I stepped in immediately and told them both, no, that will not be happening. His own grandmother was there at the time to witness this instant, and she gave him a very half-hearted reprimand, which I found baffling. It set off alarm bells in my head instantly because I eventually let it go under the premise of children simply doing stupid things because I remembered that game, like the pass out challenge, were a thing when I was a kid. The second instant was I was not around to witness, but I saw the aftermath. My daughter asked if she could go over to my friend's house to play with her son. I asked my friend and she agreed, so I carried my daughter over. My daughter brought one of her dolls with her, a Cabbage Patch Kid. I didn't stay over with them because this wasn't the first time our children have had their play dates at the other's house. I trust my friend. I've known her for the better part of 10 years. About 2 hours later, I picked up my daughter and went home. When we got inside, I noticed the state of her doll and was horrified. The hair had been cut off, and there was marker all over it. I wasn't upset, just shocked. It was my daughter's doll. She could play with it however she likes. When I inspected the doll further, I saw the words, "I kill you," written on the arm. I knew it wasn't my daughter's handwriting, but I still asked her if she wrote it just in case. She told me no, my friend's son wrote it. I was concerned and wondered if to address this situation immediately, but same as I am now, I am unsure to where to even begin. Eventually, some weeks passed and I forgot it had happened. The last and most recent instance happened by my house. My friend brought her son over to play while she ran some errands. While they were playing in the front yard, I saw the boy hold my daughter by her clothes and do stabbing motions. I stopped the game immediately, reprimanded them both, and called my friend. I lied and said I had an emergency to sort out and that she needed to pick up her son now. She came by and picked him up without issue. I am never letting my daughter near that boy after this under any circumstances, even if it is at the cost of my friendship. Still, I'm concerned for my friend and her safety, and for the safety of other children that her son plays with. This isn't normal behavior for an 8-year-old. I'm unsure of how to tell my friend these things. Should I do it over the phone, through text, or face-to-face? She can be a bit of a volatile person at times. I remember a distinct instance when she pulled out a knife on her ex-husband as a matter of fact.
Wonder where the kids learned it.
Yeah, I know, right? You just threw that in there, didn't you? This is just a very delicate situation, and I need some help on how to go about it because I truly think that this boy is mentally disturbed and dangerous and needs help. Whew.
Oh yeah, he needs help. It sounds like
the mom
needs help.
I think this whole family. Yeah.
And I think the mom, for the friend or whatever, the mom with the daughter, I would definitely keep her away from him. I don't know if I'd really feel bad about it, but I would definitely be telling my friend, because what kind of friend would I be if I wouldn't want to see the well-being of their child mentally and physically? You know, if their kid is showing psychotic behaviors or, just, you can tell by the kid's actions there's stuff going on in the house that isn't safe. That kid is showing that. I would definitely be bringing it up to her and saying, you need to get some counseling, you need to see a therapist, there needs to be something done for that kid.
I'm just wondering, if I had a friend that I've known for about 10 years, we've been with our kids over and over playing with each other, but honestly, the drowning game, maybe that was a let go because grandma was there and witnessed it. But the doll, I would have been just upset because finding out that my daughter was saying oh no, my Billy's the one that cut the hair and wrote that on the arm. I would be upset and be like, did you like that? Was that okay? Did you not like that? And I would, honestly, this would be something that, not even to blame the mother and everything, I'd just be concerned, hey, just to let you know, this happened. I don't know if this is a normal thing that happens at your house.
It would definitely need to be a blame. I mean, it's the parent. For crying out loud, you're supposed to raise your kid. You're supposed to take care of your kid. To not destroy
other people's property and belongings.
It's not even that. There is something wrong with the kid.
Well, yeah, especially when they write, I kill you on the arm. That is disturbing from an 8-year-old to say something to a 6-year-old. I would be scared to let my child, for that instant, I can't believe this mother let it go, or this person who's writing this let that go eventually. This is a delicate matter.
Well, because it didn't bother her that bad. That's why she forgot.
Then she just threw it in there. She's like, I don't really know how to bring it up to her. She can be a little violent sometimes. She brought a knife to her ex-husband. Yeah, I'm thinking well, this makes sense why the 8-year-old is acting like this. Because he's seen some of this stuff happen in his own house.
And the kid needs help.
The kid. Especially if there is issues between the mom and the dad where they're getting aggressive and possibly violent, and they're doing this in front of the son, or they might not think they're doing it in front of the son, but the son is finding this out. He is either somehow seeing this still, you're peeking around a corner.
I guarantee he's seeing it.
Well, obviously, especially he's doing stabbing motions. He's writing, I kill you. I'm wondering if threats have gone out to both the husband or the ex-husband and the mom, saying I wish you were dead, stuff. I don't know. This is disturbing for a kid to be saying and doing these actions. I would definitely bring this up.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
There are a couple of edits. First edit is, I didn't think this post would blow up, blah, 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 blah. I feel a lot more confident in how I should go about this. For those of you that shared your experiences, thank you. There are also some things I'd like to address. For people casting judgment on me for letting my child play with another 3 years older than her, they've been playmates for the past 2 years without issue. These events are very recent, as of the 3 months or so. My daughter is not scared of him and actually asks to play with him or visit him often. In all the instances I described in the post, she didn't appear to be scared, and she didn't tell me she was scared. Pertaining to what I will be doing moving forward, I will be calling my friend over the phone to break this tough conversation in a bit and gauge her reaction before I even think of having this discussion face to face. I've decided, after reading through as many comments as I could, I will explain to her as gently as possible that her son is exhibiting some concerning behavior. I will tell her what I've seen and heard, and I will tell her that I think she might be in need of some counseling, and I will do all of that without placing any blame. I want to avoid offending her because I genuinely want her to listen and not get pissed at me for insinuating she's a bad mother or something. I want that boy to get genuine help, which I agree. Mom, should be told what she's doing, whatever she's doing in front of the son is wrong, but not by the friend if they want to do some genuine help.
She needs to get over...
The counselor, the therapist can tell her that.
She needs to get over, I don't want to offend her. You need to tell her. Just because you tell her the truth about something going on with the kid is not it's not offensive.
You've known this person for 10 years. If you truly are friends, your friend will be thankful for your insight.
Exactly.
As long as you're true and genuine with your words on wanting to make sure these people get help, she should be taking it, as lightly as possible. It might hurt, but she should be grateful that you're coming to her with these concerns.
And I'd say the only reason why she's even worried about offending her is because she knows the type of behavior this friend has done.
I was going to say, honestly, she's
probably
too
more
afraid to go
scared.
face to face right now. That's why she's going over the phone.
Yeah.
Honestly, she does know this person is, what do they call, a wild card. They're a loaded gun. You don't know what's going to set them off and how crazy they're going to get.
And now her kid's that way too.
Exactly. Her kid's seeing this, and this is becoming a normal thing that they're acting this way because they're seeing it so often. This is behavior that's happening in the home, caused by being from the home, and this is just, it's dangerous. But, she goes on to say, I'm unsure of if I want to involve CPU, that's what it's called in my country, as I'm really unaware of their procedures. I need to look into it more, and I will. I also cannot involve his school or teachers because most schools in my country are unisex, so they aren't even in the same school. I can't waltz in to warn teachers about a child who's not even my own, especially if I myself have no children or no child in that school. Another thing, I read some comments saying this post is fake due to the post history on this account. This isn't my account. These are simple answers. It's a throwaway account of a friend's. So, I don't know. She must have gotten enough things that they deleted this account. Edit number 2. We're just going to go straight into it. Forgot to address this. When I described my friend as volatile, I meant it in a way I think if I address this the wrong way, she can react very badly. She does have a history of reacting badly to situations. That's what I was trying to point out with her ex-husband bit. Worst yet, if it involves her son. No, I think we got that, hun. I think we got that bit.
You don't say someone acts volatile unless you've seen it. You don't use the word volatile.
I don't know what people are saying when you're saying she's acting volatile or violent. No, I think we knew exactly what you meant. So that's so funny. This woman has been there for me through some very hard times in my life. She's been my number one supporter since my daughter was born and my ex-husband left us. She visited me at the hospital when I gave birth. She helped me through my postpartum depression. We have a very rich friendship. She's always helped me, so consider that before judging me for trusting her with my daughter. If I have to cut her off, I would be doing so with a very heavy heart, but I will do whatever is best for my daughter. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kid comes first.
I will say, if you want to keep the friendship, go ahead. But for right now, you need to put some distance between you and that son, which is going to be distance between the mom too. So honestly, you need some distance until they get some real help.
Yeah, they need help. It's no question.
No. So, a lot of people throwing out number one top commenter was Those are learned behaviors. The child is showing you what is happening to himself and his mother. You're addressing his traumas, so he continues to demonstrate the behaviors in front of you because that's where he's learning whether what he's experienced is correct or not.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's where he's learned it.
I mean, honestly, I don't think this kid knows what he's doing is bad because he has never been told that it's not bad from his own.
He's 8 years old.
Yeah,
he's 8 years old, 8 or 9 years old. It's his parent, his mom.
It's whatever he's living at home. He is reenacting it out in front of literally when he's playing with your daughter, OP. He has been literally reenacting what he's literally been seeing going on in his home, which is a huge, I need help sign for this kid.
Oh, yeah.
This poor kid.
He can't handle it.
You can't blame this kid for what he's doing. So, honestly, OP, thank you for, really thinking for this kid. But you also, I know you feel bad for this family and you want to help them. Please help them the way you can, but do it at the state of keeping your daughter safe as well. Because this kid might not know actually bringing a knife to someone's event, party with your daughter, wherever he's at next. He finds a knife and he brings it. He's going to think it's normal. He's going to think it's fine because his mom did it. So
you probably won't think it's fine, but I mean, there's no repercussions at home.
Monkey see, monkey do. Kids are so young and they're learning. They're grasping all these things they see and they repeat them. So it's like when people say, be careful what you say because you have little ears, little eyes watching you, little ears listening to you. They repeat what you say, what you do. And that's when you realize that you got to be careful how you act, how you talk in front of little ones because they soak all that up.
Little sponges.
Little sponges. Make sure it's done correctly or right. And they learn, you learn from your mistakes and they learn from that also. So please don't be afraid to admit when you are wrong to your child and that you want to fix that so they know what's correct, what's right from wrong.
Yep.
This was... Okay. Moving on to the next one. Our next one is r/recruiting hell. Yeah, I know. It's off of just recruiting people.
Okay.
This one's called A Real Message from a Company I Withdrew My Application From. So it's kind of a little quick, short one. So like I said, these are all kind of random things. But this could happen to anyone. We all go out there. We all go through job applications. And sometimes we go and apply at companies that we think are cool in the beginning. And they end up being a little sketchy.
Like McDonald's.
No, McDonald's can be cool sometimes. Depending on the location. That's the thing. It's locations for that. Alright, so anyways. This one starts as, long story short, I had an interview with a startup and it was a great mission / company. The only red flag was that it was like it was in like Series A funding, which has a high potential for failure. But hey, very cool experience, even if it fails. The interview was great, immediately invited me to second round, but he mentioned that by next year he wanted his dream team to be in office working collaboratively together in one location. As a military wife with a career, I need to be remote to grow with a company, any company. I've been remote for many years, and it means when we move, my career isn't interrupted. So I decided it was best for both parties to withdraw my application so I can find a position that suits my fully remote needs. And he can find someone who's willing to move in office if and when his company takes off, which, seems reasonable.
Yeah.
And this is the text I got back from him. Thank goodness I dodged this bullet. So she shows a screenshot, and basically she's saying, hey, you can take down my application at this time. You mentioned your goal of moving everyone in office in the next year and that it is not something I will be able to accommodate. Thank you for your time today and best of luck forming your dream team. And the guy replies back saying, "No worries, thanks for letting me know." But then he sends another one right after that saying, "One last thing. When someone has a goal and you crap on them for trying, I'm sorry as well. You are ugly for that. Although, best of luck to you on your journey in the modern day slavery market." Just.
Well, that's weird.
And she's like, "Wow, I apologize if that's the impression you got from my text. I'm not sure where you got the idea that I was crapping on you." But yeah, no, that's
dodging a bullet.
Oh yeah. I mean, hearing that, having, she respectfully informed them, "Hey, I'm sorry, this isn't going to work out. You can withdraw my application." Excuse me. She was very apologetic and very respectful and formal about that. And my goodness, for someone to write that back is just immature. Immature little kid. I would not want to work under this person. So, no.
Neither did she.
No, neither did she. So, literally, she dodged a bullet big time. So, yeah, basically, someone, what is it? Someone said, 100 out of 10, ego a-hole text from him. "You sure did dodge a bullet." So, yeah. Nope, that was just kind of funny. I just had to put that in there because I'm like, things like this happen, but that's hilarious. That's hilariously oh my word. Glad that went that way. Okay, moving on to the next one. We're just doing some fun little quick ones here. My next one is, oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. So this one is this is from r/choosing beggars. "You're taking the pictures anyway. Why not just include us for free?" is the title.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I, 31 female, have been working professionally as a photographer for about 6 years now. Last weekend, I booked a golden hour session for a lovely couple at a local park, paid in full, signed contract, all good. While I'm setting up, this random woman with 2 kids walks over and just starts hovering. At first, I thought she was just passing by, but nope. She literally started posing her kids right next to my clients. I can only picture that. I can only imagine how weird that must have been. I politely told her it was a private shoot and would appreciate it if she would just give us a bit of space. She says, "Oh, don't worry. I just need a few good shots of my babies. You're already shooting, so what's the harm?" I explained again that this is a paid session and I just can't start photographing other people mid-shoot, and let her know she was embarrassing my clients and I. Then came the classic, "Wow, you're seriously going to deny 2 innocent children a memory just because of money? You're already here. Just snap a few. It cost you nothing." I said, "Actually, it cost me time, energy, editing, storage, and equipment wear." She walked off muttering, "Greedy biatch," loud enough for me and my clients to hear. I swear, I'm too old for this nonsense. I'm 31, not charity.
I'm a real person with real feelings.
Yeah, what was it? The first person was commenting, the top comment was, "Wow, you're seriously going to deny 2 innocent children a memory just because of money?" Quoting that woman. And she says, ... says the woman who was quite literally denying her own kids a memory just because she didn't want to pay. So just because of money, literally.
I think what we all need to agree is that she gave them a memory worth remembering.
Oh.
They got a memory all right.
Yeah. No, what is it? There's the next person down says, exactly. That lovely memory of their mom making a out of herself and embarrassing them in public. Trust me, kids know. I used to wish the floor would open up and swallow me when my mom would act like that. Ugh. That's just so embarrassing. The entitlement of people. Seriously. You're already shooting a picture. Why don't you just take a couple more?
Just push the button.
You don't even know this woman.
Push the button.
It's just it's not going to take much time. Well, you must be an expert or something. I must be doing my job wrong. Oh my gosh. My gosh. Okay. Alright, we're gonna do. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna do this one first, and then we'll end off with a kind of a lighter one. So this one's kind of a deeper one, but this one is from r/AITAH. Am I the a-hole for being resentful and angry that my parents had me so I'd take care of my disabled brother when they die? So, I, 17 male, have an older brother, Shane, 21 male, who's disabled and will never be able to live independently. My parents knew from birth that Shane was physically disabled, but it was when he was around 3 they realized he was on the autism spectrum too. Then by the time I was born, he was also diagnosed with an intellectual disability. All 3 of them together means he has a lot of care needs. Those needs mean he needs help to get in and out of his wheelchair and his bed, to wash himself, to brush his teeth, to eat and drink, to have anything in, and he's nonverbal, so he doesn't have the communication skills at all to express what he needs with words. I was primarily raised by other family members until I was 5. I spent those first 5 years moving from relative to relative and visited my parents and Shane. Once I was 5, my parents moved me in and started teaching me all about taking care of Shane. They had me picking up after him, learning to bathe and feed him, and all kinds of things. They told me how important I was to our family and how they knew Shane needed me before they even had me. I was 8 when my parents admitted they knew he needed a sibling to look after him when they died, and they were so glad they had me so they never had to worry about it. My life has revolved around this, and it also has limited my life. There were things I just never got to do because my parents deemed them too high risk for me. So I don't know how to swim. I don't get to hang out with my friends really ever. I only had friend birthday parties, and they never rented bounce house or got me a trampoline when I was younger. All play with cousins was expected to be gentle and have no risk of causing me harm. Their biggest fear isn't that I die because they'd miss me, but because of Shane. My education has suffered a lot because of this. I'm graduating next year, and I already know my grades won't be anywhere close to good, but I'll pass, which is something at least. My extended family doesn't want to help me have a life, and I feel brushed off whenever I ask them for help. My parents only care about me as Shane's future guardian and not as their son too. Now that I'm older and I feel like I never got to be a kid, I'm so resentful, and I'm angry at my parents for putting me in this position I'm in. Lately, I've been really bitter in interactions with my parents. They've called me out on it, and finally I told them exactly how I feel. I admitted to being resentful and angry that they had to be my brother's keeper. They got mad at me for having any problems with it. They think I should love Shane enough to do all this stuff willingly. My extended family are acting colder since I told my parents too. So I know the family I've been lately, paternal grandma, paternal aunt and uncles, maternal cousins of my mom, are on my parents' side. Although I knew that when nobody cared to help me. Am I the a-hole though?
No. I mean, I could understand not wanting that responsibility, because it felt like more it was forced on him as a kid instead of, hey, you're part of the family, come join us in helping your brother. Obviously giving him, I mean, kid that young, you can give him like little tasks. Hey, I need to go outside, can you just make sure nothing happens to your brother while I'm gone for 2 seconds real quick?
Poor kid.
Stuff like that. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not bad that he learns to take care of his brother, because I mean it is his brother, but it shouldn't be forced that, hey, you have to take care of him when we're gone. Mom and dad should be setting up his future, financially, and what are we going to do with him when he's gone? By the way, if his brother does want to take him over when he's able to take care of himself and whatnot, then, that is fine too. But it's not his responsibility. It's his mom and dad's. It's their son. They should be protecting their son by having a future planned out for a son that, even though, with all the disabilities he has, will be protected, whether that's with his brother or being at a home with, assisted care living and all that.
Now, I honestly agree with all that. I mean, to admit to your kid when that they were only thought of to, like they were only created and they had this kid basically to take care of his brother. That's literally that's the reason they have put in this kid's head, this OP's head, that this is his purpose in life. He was brought into this world to literally take care of his brother.
Yeah, which is why he resents them.
Well, I'm sorry. I'd have big, strong feelings about this too. If this was literally what they said my purpose was I'm only here to take care of my brother. I don't get a life. My life is my brother's life. And I'm sorry. Yes, as family, you should have that passion to want to willingly help your family. But when it is forced upon with you, I'm sorry, especially as a kid, when parents force things on you to do something that they think is right, it pushes the kid further away. They don't feel like they're doing this willingly as their own choice and their own decision of love. No, this is forced on them, so they feel like they feel claustrophobic. They feel like they can't breathe because you are literally shoving this down their throats to basically, this is what you're expected, nothing else. And of course, family, I get it. Family is a lot to people. Family to us is everything, obviously, for us. We would do a lot of things for our family. But I don't think if one of our kids had a disability, I would love for my kids be like, okay, we help each other out here, which includes helping little Johnny out when he needs to get up and get some, something from the counter or something, or, oh, can you help here while I do this for him? That's expected for all of us as we help each other as a family. But we are not, we would never force our child to be like, this is what you're going to do when you get older. No, like you said, the best thing these parents should have done, whether they even expected to have another child or not, was always plan a facility, a 24-hour care facility for this kid, for Shane, for somehow ever 24-hour facility or 24-hour care, like a nurse. He needed to be set up through something anyways for that assistance. And OP for being expected at this age to take care of his to take care of his brother, that's just, I'm sorry, you just feel like this is my life. I literally have no life because I'm going to be sitting here the rest of my life just taking care of my brother. I don't think how parents can just expect to do that to their kids, to drag them through this. I get it. It is hard having a kid with a disability, but you can't expect then your other child to be at the same level, always living the same level as that other kid. You got to have plans for both of them. Let them do their own thing. Obviously, the one with the disability, Shane, he's got a lot that he needs cared for. His parents are still here.
Oh, yeah.
They can take care of him. His brother, let him do what he can at this time while the parents are still here. Well, but now he knows. He should have been growing up saying, hey, can you do this for your brother? This is something you can learn to help and do. But when it is your time, maybe we can set this thing up and you can come and visit and help your brother every once in a while. That would be a better thing to kind of set that up.
Well, yeah, but I'm sure if they would have not given him responsibilities as you're the caretaker of your brother, but more of you're your brother's brother, then if something did happen to the parents later on, you're going to be more apt to wanting to help your brother. I mean, I'm sure if something happens, he's going to maybe taking care of him at home isn't the way of helping him, but have him at a assisted living place, where he has care
Mm-hmm.
24/7, that is the way he helps. That is
Yes.
still taking care of someone.
You're still then considered a caregiver when you come and visit and bring things for your brother. I mean, the thing is, I have a feeling with how this has been going, because Shane has all these disabilities, he has definitely been more of the focus in the family.
Oh yeah.
And OP has been second thought because he is there to help. He probably has never been able to do any sports or any other activities. If he had, parents probably made an excuse where they couldn't come because they had to take care of Shane. I'm sorry, this happens to a lot of families. One child is more of a focus than another one, and that child who doesn't get any focus or also the same amount of love resents their parents.
Oh yeah.
And that is why people, and I get it, people don't say it out loud, but parents should never have favorites. Never. Because their kids will resent that. And you don't want that. You want your kids to be willing to want to be there for their family when they can, because that is what you grew up being there for each other, helping each other, supporting each other. It should not be more of one than the other, ever. Even if they have a disability. Yes, you might have to show more attention at times because one can clean up themselves because they are able to. The other one is not able to. But there is a difference between always focusing, always showing more attention and care for one than the other.
Yeah.
There are different ways to show that attention and love. You should learn that. It is a growing and always forever learning impact on parents with these experiences that they have to go through. If they've never gone through this again, obviously, then this is a this is a learning area for them. But you can literally sit down with your child and say, hey, we're trying to work this. What can we do to make this better? Like we're trying to give Shane this attention because he definitely needs it because he's not able to do this. What is something we can do? Like I always say with my oldest, she does help me take care of the little ones sometimes. And I always think, you know what? I need to take her out. I need to take her out and get her, just her and I get some ice cream. Or, dad goes out maybe to a movie with her. That's her special time. Because now that she's older and we have the two other ones, sometimes I feel like I'm not giving all of them their attention. And sometimes you need to give each kid their little bit of attention and not just always be together. Because they're all their individual. Every kid is their individual person.
Oh yeah.
This is just a huge parenting thing, and I feel bad for OP, and I feel like he's not written down and bound to stay with them.
You are not the father.
Oh my word. I'm just saying he can make his own choices. I don't know how old he is and how soon he is to graduating, but he can. He can go if he needs to. He will have to push it himself because no one else is underneath him, which is so unfortunate that he has no one else underneath him to support him. But he is not forced or, to stay with his parents. He can really, even if he doesn't go to college right away, he can move out, get a job, save that money, and move out. Maybe he could crash with a friend for a little bit if he has any friends. I just feel bad because this is a terrible situation. I will say when my cousin had cancer, his older brother, my older cousin, they had a 5-year difference, and my younger cousin, or he's my older cousin too, but he had cancer. And he was he was young. So when my older cousin, 5-year difference, brothers and everything, he had activities. He had sports. He had football and other activities that he was in. And parents couldn't come to some of them because my other cousin had to go do a lot of treatments, centers, hospitals, tons of stays. Or he missed them because he wanted to spend time with his brother because you didn't know if it was going to be the last time. And honestly, my aunt would always say how she regrets how her oldest son couldn't be able to do more of those things because he did miss a lot of like good high school time during that time to be able to do that stuff. But my oldest cousin will always say he does not regret any of it because he got to spend those times with his brother the last few moments he had before he passed away. So there are just kids, they understand what goes on in life if they're willing to. You gave him that choice. My aunt gave him that choice if he wanted to stay for those games or if he wanted to miss them. And they were going, I think one of them was always trying to be there to support them, or they always had some friends or families to try and be there. My family was a huge support little system. We were like, it takes a village. We were always there for each other to help each other out, especially during those hard times with the cancer. But my cousin, my older cousin, was willing to miss them because he knew how important it was to miss and be there with his brother. So I'm just saying, kids, if you give them that choice, you give them that little bit of freedom that they have to be their own person, you know, you let them be who they are, that will show them the love and care you show them to be their own person, and they will come back to you. It's like the prodigal son. They'll come back to family. Kind of a bad example, but for the prodigal son, but they will come back to family. So OP's family, I'm sorry, you are doing him wrong by, I wish if you thought if you could go back in time, you could do things differently, because he ain't coming back until you change how you treat him and love and care for him.
Mm-hmm.
Whew, sorry, that was a little bit of a darker term. So top comment for that was, not the a-hole. They can't force you to be the caregiver. Move out and don't sign anything without reading. Extended family, they don't want to be straddled with Shane either. That's why they support the parents' plan.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. And OP actually responded to that saying, I can't move out, but I've never signed anything or would. I don't want to be his caregiver the way they expect me to be. Someone else says, you can move out when you graduate. Someone else suggested joining the military, and I second this. OP responded saying, that's really not something I would ever do. I'll look at other options, but the military is a hard no from me, which, it's not for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So, unless that's his, last plan. I don't see any other comments at the moment from OP. Oh, here we go. I can't remember who posted this. Let's see. From this, he was responding. Okay, so someone says, they won't listen to boundaries. OP's only way out is to move out and go no contact. These people conceived a nurse servant, farmed him out to extended family so he wouldn't take any attention from Shane or be an extra effort, and then brought OP back as soon as OP was old enough to start being Shane's servant. OP has to get out now. And he responded, my parents don't see it that way, and they refuse to accept that I should have my own life. I'm stuck here for now, too. Yeah, kid, you gotta find a plan. You need some space from your family.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the last one. Little true off my chest. Nice one to end with. I love the true off my chest ones. Those are, sometimes like the best ones. Sometimes. Okay. This one is, I lied my way through a job interview, got hired, and now I'm in over my head, but no one seems to notice. Don't we all, with everyone who's ever tried to apply for a job above their pay grade? Okay, so I applied for a job I wasn't qualified for out of desperation. I'd been unemployed for 4 months, rent was due, and I was down to my last $300. The job posting was looking for someone with 2 to 3 years experience in a field I had barely touched. I had none. So I Googled some terminology, watched a few crash courses, and walked into the interview like I belonged there. I threw around a few buzzwords I barely understood and smiled a lot. Somehow, it worked. They offered me the job the next day. Now I've been working here for 3 weeks, and every day I feel like I'm walking on a tightrope. I have 20 tabs open at all times. ChatGPT, Reddit, Stack Overflow, YouTube tutorials, just to survive the day. What's crazy is no one has said anything. My manager compliments me. People come to me with questions. I'm scared they will eventually realize I'm improvising everything. But at the same time, I'm learning fast. I've already automated part of my workflow. I fixed something yesterday that the team had been ignoring for months. I don't know if I'm still faking it or actually growing into it, but I've never been this motivated or this scared in my life.
Sounds like they're learning their job.
Sounds like they're probably if they already finished or completed a project that people had, like, the team had been ignoring for months. He must be doing something right. So I'd say he's doing it. Fake it till you make it.
Or they know he's not doing his job right because they're like, look, he took on that project. Nobody would do that in their right mind.
Right. Well, yeah, top comment. And this whole thing, this short thing got 17,000 upvotes. So a lot of people saw this. And this was from 5 days ago.
Hopefully you mustn't find it.
Yeah, no, this was from 5 days ago. So it wasn't that long ago. And it already has 17,000 upvotes. That's crazy. So top comment was, it's been 3 weeks and you've already solved an issue from before you were hired. I would just keep it up. Imposter syndrome is real. Maybe this is the universe throwing you a bone. Yeah, some people are saying, like, I've seen people who have 20 years experience and they couldn't even do their job that they were given. So, yeah, that's so funny. You know, sometimes it is the imposter syndrome or fake it till you make it kind of. It's the confidence. Just showing how much confidence you have in yourself in a job that you've never done. But you're throwing yourself out there. You're reaching for something that, honestly, you don't know if you'll get. But what's the worst they're going to say? No? I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the worst they're going to tell you is, no, we went with someone else.
Or they say yes and you get the job and you don't know what you're doing.
Like this guy.
Yeah. Oh, I have the job.
It worked. I didn't actually think. Just think if someone did this, like, I bet you to go do that, or I dare you to go do that, and be like, oh, there's no chance, but okay. And then they actually get the job.
Oh, yeah.
And then all chaos breaks loose. But, you know, honestly, I think, yeah, whatever he's doing, and he's learning, probably because he's so scared that he's going to get caught, that he is learning 10 times faster. And that is making him actually very useful in that area where people are actually thinking, wow, this guy actually knows his stuff, and they're going to him already for questions. So fake it till you make it, man. It's real. That stuff is real. It works.
Don't get caught.
Don't. It's all good till you get caught. So, okay, guys. That's it. That's all I have for today. These were just some quirky stories. And maybe I'll say that. This is like, I don't know what the title is going to be for this yet, but these are just some quirky tales that, you know, so random and so weird.
It's randoms for a random podcast.
Yeah, literally.
Wow.
This was just one of those random episodes for this Randos podcast. So,
dun, 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 dun.
I'm living up to our name, guys. Alright, so if you guys have, like, literally any stories, you know our email, the Reddit Randos at podcast. Oh, my word.
Say it again.
Randos. Okay, the Reddit Randos at gmail.com. Email us, let us know. There's also a link. You can message us, and I can go through that as well to communicate. Either way, we're just living it up. So, until the next time.
Peace.
Bye.